Well, after about an hour, my model has been built and it's now ready to download. Let's go ahead and proceed to download it completely together from the very beginning, and then we can observe and see precisely how it ultimately turned out. When it comes to virtual tools, folder organization is very important. So try to organize the files you created from the very beginning, placing them neatly in specific folders so that later on you can work with them more easily. For the file I downloaded, I create a folder called 3D modeling and name it Copics. The file we're interested in is in the CPC format. In fact, the CPC format is a format that only that specific website can read. Now down here, right below the profile you created, there's an option called Open CPC File, which is this Vista Point. If you click on that, a window will open for you that contains a link inside. If you click on this link, the Vista Point page will open, where you can drag and drop the CPC file you downloaded for your project and open it in this section. So this particular 3D model is actually a room that I meticulously scanned here using a specialized 360-degree camera which captured the entire space. And these bubbles you see here, as I mentioned, are placed randomly with a series of 360-degree photos so that we can see more details of the space. Actually, these photos aren't useful for us. Of course, we can download them from the file section, but we don't need them. We've taken higher quality photos ourselves and plan to use those. Let me point out this note to you. As I mentioned before, the 3D model it created isn't very high quality. Even though I tried to follow all the guidelines mentioned in the software's own tutorial and by the platform itself, but still, as you can see, the model doesn't have very good quality. Now, in this part, you can see the hole in the wall. And pay attention to this window section, compare it with the part where I pulled the curtain down. You can see that it's quite noticeable. The reason I told you it's better to keep the curtains closed and not let the outside be visible is that, well, here with the help of AI actually, because the AI is trained on the basis that the window space shouldn't be connected to the outside, has automatically cropped it. Look at the distortion you see in this area. This shows that the model has also considered the distances outside the room and wanted to extend these meshes outward. But since the AI is aware of this issue, it has cropped them. So if you pay attention, there's a gap here that's quite obvious. It has removed everything beyond this point. It has set a boundary for the wall and determined that anything beyond this is not part of the room and is not relevant to us. So it has automatically removed it. However, in photogrammetry, when we want to do this manually, we have to remove it ourselves by hand, which takes extra work. And even after we've deleted those meshes, it leaves a hole like this, and we can't replace it with anything. Repairing the 3D model isn't that simple, and it's very time consuming and labor intensive. So it's better for us to be careful from the very beginning and scan the space correctly, so we don't have to spend time on post-processing. Let's move on to downloading this file. Here we have various options available. Let me go through them one by one. Playback clearly shows the precise path that I took. You can see when I play it back, it tells you exactly where you initially started from. You came right here and then meticulously scanned this central middle part of the area. Then you went back into the hallway and so on. Watch it again. Now, it's not particularly useful for us. I'm just letting you know that here I can very easily measure the area of this room. I just need to select the 4 corners of the room, though I didn't select them correctly. I'll cancel this corner and try again. How do you cancel it? Yes, it shows up in this section. I will delete this one and then we should be good to go. Select it correctly. Right click. Sorry, you need to press enter. The area is calculated completely, and now our area is 450 cubic feet. Of course, we can change this unit, but we don't need it, so we'll just delete it. We can filter and select parts of this room along the Z, X, or Y axis and filter them. Along the X axis, it works like this, and along the Y axis like this. For example, we can keep only this hallway, or we can cut out a part of the ceiling and so on. As for rendering, well, we can also change the color point. This is actually a point cloud captured from this space, which the AI using artificial intelligence converted the time lapse I took of this space, the video I recorded, into a point cloud, and then using those photos and the point cloud, it generated a mesh. Here you can see the texture and the mesh, a mesh that has a background, meaning it has an image. In fact, the mesh is made up of those triangulations, and if you zoom in, you can see that this model is constructed from triangles, and then on top of those triangles, the images are patched on so that the mesh has a background, or in other words, a texture. This allows it to display the colors of the room and the objects inside it. And the elevation map also comes in as a height map and colors these points accordingly. Just to familiarize you, let's go to the file section so we can export. We don't want the point cloud of our file. We want the mesh. We also don't want an empty mesh. We definitely want it to have a texture. We want it to have color. We don't want the panoramas either. We don't need them because we're going to capture new high quality panoramas and use those. If I check this, the panoramas will be downloaded at the same time. Okay, I selected the mesh in the GLB format. Fortunately, GLB is the format that TD-Vista also accepts as inputs, so we can import the same file directly into the TD-Vista software. If I click on export, my file will be downloaded here, and then I'll take it and put it into the folder I created. This file is 13 megabytes, and I can open it with Windows built-in 3D viewer. This is the Windows 3D viewer, and this is the 3D model we created. Just like this, with the help of the Copics tool. So up to this particular point, we've successfully managed to create a detailed 3D model of the interior space, or a comprehensive 2D model using this effective tool.